So good, so good, so good.
Ready to rack to school and save big? Get to your Nordstrom Rack store today for thousands of deals from just $20.
Because I want to look fresh.
How did I not know Rack has Adidas?
I got a new backpack.
Score everyone's favorite denim, sneakers, boots, and activewear from Nike, Levi's, Steve Madden, Madewell, and Free People. Great brands, great prices. Everyone's got a reason to rack. Shop Nordstrom Rack and make it the best school year ever.
This Friday, Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan are back to switch things up in Disney's Freakier Friday.
Totally, yes.
It's an absolute riot, and the only movie that can be described as
So much weirder than the last time. What last time?
it's the frequel
You ready?
we've been waiting for.
That absolutely slays.
What deeply out of touch old person came up with that?
You did.
Wow.
Don't miss the comedy event of the summer for all ages. Disney's Freakier Friday, in theaters this Friday. Get tickets now. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
This episode is brought to you by the world's first reposado from Tequila Herradura. Made with slow-cooked, hand-harvested agave sealed into oak barrels and aged 11 months. Before being enjoyed in your glass. Experience the world's first reposado. Tequila Herradura. Please drink responsibly. Responsibility.org. Tequila Herradura. 40% alcohol by volume. Imported by Brown-Forman, Louisville, Kentucky. Herradura is a registered trademark. Copyright 2025 Brown-Forman Corporation.
Pie in the Sky Media. This series contains adult language and descriptions of graphic violence throughout. Listener discretion is advised.
God.
I don't want to. Hold on. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, Criminal Mischief Nation, from a long winter's nap. I finally got this lazy good-for-nothing Carolyn back to work. Jeez. She's been on a beach with a drink in her hand, just getting wasted and sunburned. Oh, no. I can't believe you did this to me. I can't believe.
You freaking opened the door.
I
Hello,
specifically asked.
Brandon Morgan.
I finally got the melody out of my head. Oh, wow.
Hey,
Welcome back.
what?
Welcome back. It's great to see you. I hope you had a wonderful and relaxing holiday season. And of course, I'm busting chops here. Carolyn did nothing but work over the break on a separate project that we will all be the beneficiaries of soon, I hope. So I was able to wrest her away from her other project and bring her back to Criminal Mischief. So how was your holiday break, Carolyn?
You know what? It was awesome. It was really, really great. It's exactly what I love, which is low key, and the kids all had a great time, and it was good stuff. And my boys started basketball this weekend, and I was like, oh man, I just love it so much.
Great.
I just love it. Yeah. How about you? How was your holiday?
Good, same, low key. A lot of work. I'm in the middle of season 3 of Devil Within, which is doing well. Thank you for everybody out there who's checking it out. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying it. So, you know how it is when you're dropping shows. There's always last minute tweaks and stuff, and publishing stuff, and add stuff to read and all that. So it was a good kind of busy. Good kind of busy. So it was good. I'm glad that the kids are back in school. Very happy about that.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I can't believe it. I had a Clark Griswold moment, not a good one. I was my wife and my daughters went sleigh riding for the day up in the hills. I stayed home to put away all of the Christmas stuff, like in the bins up in the attic.
Mhm.
And I took a wrong step and went through the attic floor into my living room.
Wow.
Yeah. Now listen, I didn't go all the way through and like land.
Wait a second.
I didn't land in a heap on the floor, but
You just like, what just happened?
no, it was so embarrassing. I was all alone. So it was very dangerous. I was all
I
alone.
can imagine. Yeah.
My left foot went through, and I was saved by my left butt cheek and the crook of my right knee on one of the other floor joists.
Oh!
Right. And I felt this rush of hot air come through because it was really cold in the attic. Right. And my first instinct, Like, 'cause I had no idea what was going on. Like my stomach dropped, right? Because you're not expecting to fall. Okay. And I yelled, help.
I just call that? I was just like,
And there was
help!
nobody home. I went, help. And then I stopped and laughed at myself. Okay. I went, who are you yelling help for, you asshole? There's no one home. I'm okay. There was no broken bones. I was more embarrassed than anything else.
Mhm.
And I went down in the living room and I looked up and there's the attic. And I took pictures and video of it and sent them to my wife, who promptly posted them on her Instagram. And now every asshole friend of mine from New Jersey is calling me and laughing. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Absolutely. That's the gift that keeps
Oh
giving.
my gosh, it was so embarrassing. But
So I'm waiting for you to then transition into you fixed it
I
and
did.
how you
Yeah,
fixed
I'm very handy. Very handy. Okay.
okay, we all know that. That's
So
why I was saying,
I
I'm
hooked.
sure you're next.
Yes,
Yeah.
I immediately assessed the situation. I squared off the hole in the drywall. I have extra drywall in my shed. All right. I was able to measure it, cut the piece out, squared it off to, to the center of the floor joists, and I had it patched. Now, listen, there's still a lot more work to be done. It's just roughed in right now. I got to sand it and do another layer and then paint it. But I had it fixed within a couple hours. The football game was on. And what was great is that a lot of the work was done from up in the attic, and I could hear the living room TV through the fucking hole in the floor that I just
Bonus!
right?
Oh
So that's
my
the bonus. So I didn't miss
God.
any of the game, and I got it done. Yeah, and the kids had a field day. They still point and laugh when I walk by now.
I'm sure they
Yeah.
do. I'm sure they do.
So that was how my break ended, and
You want to know, this is like when you said help, when you know that you're going down. It reminded me, I don't know, this is really morbid, but did you know the number one thing that pilots say before they're going to crash?
Oh Jesus, no.
Do you know what that is?
No.
Mommy.
Oh wow, Jesus.
Isn't that crazy?
Like George Floyd calling for his mother who'd been dead for years. Yeah.
That just
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. No, that's crazy because my father's an airline pilot for 40 years. He flew. Okay. And he gave me, I've read a ton of stuff on aviation, and there's this great book called Fate is the Hunter, which is about the early years of commercial aviation. And a lot of those black box recordings and stuff are recounted in there. And like one guy says, like, I love you, Amy, which was his wife, but those black box recordings are heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
Oh, I wouldn't even want to hear. I really wouldn't even want to listen.
Speaking of plane crashes, strange. I couldn't sleep the other night, and I was going through Netflix, and I watched Society of the Snow. Have you heard about it? It was up for a Golden Globe last night for Best Foreign Film. It's a true story about the Uruguayan rugby team that crashed in the Andes in 1973 or so. Yeah, in 73 and or 74, I forget. And it was an Ethan Hawke movie called Alive 30 years ago, which was really.
I watched that. That was crazy.
Yeah, and this is it's. I wouldn't call it a remake of Alive, but it's the same story. But I find it much more accurate because it's not in English. It's all I think it's all in Spanish. I think in Uruguay they speak Spanish. Do they speak Spanish in Uruguay? I think so. But anyway, wonderfully acted, beautifully shot, and it just I was like, oh, I'll watch the first 10 minutes, and that next thing you know, I watched the whole thing. So it was terrific, a terrific story of human endurance and the will to survive. And it wasn't told from the point of view of Nando Parado like Alive was. That's who Ethan Hawke played. It was from a different character. But Nando obviously plays a huge role in it. He was the one who's like, fuck it, I'm walking out of these mountains. I don't give a shit. And did it.
So it's worth a watch, huh?
Oh my gosh, is it ever? It's very.
Well, I got something for you. I have a new crush.
Okay.
Slow Horses, and it's fucking Gary Oldman is.
Oh wow! I have a man crush on Gary Oldman since fucking Sid and Nancy, since True Romance.
Oh my gosh!
Right?
He's
one of the best to ever do it.
He is so crotchety, reviled. I mean, he's terrible, but he's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good. Anyway, it's like the third season. I've loved every season. We binged this season, but it's just so, I keep thinking about it. It's so good.
Well, my wife and daughters watched the George Clooney directed Boys in the Boat, the true story about the University of Washington.
They had a bunch of I guess George Clooney was in Seattle, and I haven't. Is that good?
It was great. It really, and this review, you're gonna think I didn't like it, but I did. You've seen it already. Like if you've seen Rocky, or if you've seen Seabiscuit, or if you've seen any of these underdog sports films, but it's so well done. Like you know how it ends. You know, so well done, and the casting was great. The acting was terrific, and according to my wife, it's just all mid-20s muscly boy eye candy, right? These just immortal, young, beautiful men, with the glistening skin and their muscles and rowing the boats. And I'm like looking at my wife saying, just get over it. Just stop it. Okay.
I'm going to take her recommendation. Tell her I said thank you.
So, but wonderful storytelling, because it's hit or miss with Clooney as a director. Right? Hit or miss, right? It could be Good Night and Good Luck, which is amazing. It could be Monuments Men, which was a huge misfire, right? This was awesome. Really, really.
Well, you had me at Rocky. I mean, when I was a kid, that was like one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah. Well, I loved Seabiscuit. I love Seabiscuit for the historical aspect of it. It's the same era. This is a Depression era story. And yeah, really, really great. Really, really well done. All right, so let's get to this week's.
You want me to play your song again?
Oh gosh, I was trying to. I'm a black and white kind of guy, right? I like saying, all right, here's the bad guy, boom. But there's like more than one bad guy in this, right? The stepfather's such a piece of shit, right? Oh my gosh. And I wanted to love this guy so much. I really wanted to love him because of how because his apostasy. He left the Mormon church. Okay. And not only did he leave it, he left it loud, and he left it in an arrogant, like ball busting, making fun of it kind of way.
Awful.
I wanted to love the guy.
How could you love this guy? How?
I wanted to love him for his take on religion in general and on LDS.
But why do people have to, if he decides that he's not interested in it, this is what drives me freaking crazy, is that then he has to totally ruin his wife's life.
Yeah, that gets annoying.
And be a complete asshole and turn the kids against her and act like she's like a witchcrafter and like totally gaslighting.
I get it. It gets annoying.
Branden.
I understand it gets annoying. And here's the defense for the screaming atheists, as they call them. Okay. And the main defense that you'll hear from them is when people say, you just have to respect their religious beliefs. And what the opposing side, the extreme opposing side would say, I have far too much respect for the reasoning power of your brain to respect
have freaking said that
beliefs.
Before.
Yes, I have. And it's true. And when you think about it, if I were to tell you a story, okay, if I were to change,
I can already tell you're going to try to
just here for a second. Okay, if I were to tell you a story and change all of the names, but keep the plot points the same, okay, you wouldn't believe it.
But you're missing the point.
Okay, I understand what I'm saying. There's a certain type of person, and I admit it, that every now and then I kind of wear this kind of jacket, okay, of this person who's like, if you put it in my face, I'm going to get loud in my opposition to the.
I know, but this is what drives me crazy about you, because you deep down know we were talking about in the North Pole Star. I think that was the name of the Sherlock Holmes story. And I said how arrogant the doctor was at first, and he had a journey to go on. And you're like, yes, because he would hide behind his skepticism, and it was arrogance. And that's really what it is. If you boil it down to, this guy was an asshole, and thought he was better than his wife, and he totally made her and his kids' lives, ruined them. And as the story progresses, you'll see exactly why, because the son starts to do exactly what the father does.
Obviously, he took it too far. Obviously, he used it as a weapon. Okay, he weaponized his opposition to the Mormon Church. Fine, that guy's a piece of shit. I totally get it. However, I also understand how someone can suddenly have an awakening and go, "Oh my God, this is so ridiculous. How could anybody believe this?" That is also a very logical place to end up. Okay. If for a second you turn on the logical functionality of the human brain. Okay. It's a very logical place to end up. And you can't really fault someone for really kind of taking a few victory laps when they're finally basked in the light of truth.
It's Wednesday, Adams. I see you're trying to distract yourself from your own banal thoughts. Let me help. Here's a recording thing made of my latest root canal.
Wednesday, Season 2, begins August 6th, only on Netflix.
On top of building this fake volcano for months, I give my daughter Smarty Pants vitamins to support her brain health. So her science fair project sounds more like and less like. And while I may say it's not a competition, of course it's a f***ing competition. Choose Smarty Pants vitamins to support your kids' brain health and save the science fair. Shop on Amazon, smartypantsvitamins.com, or at Target today.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks, or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Visit USAA.com/bundle.
Bundle savings are off total premium, not available in all states or in all situations. To qualify, auto policy must be active prior to property policy issue, subject to change. Restrictions apply. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
But I just don't know why you have to try to change, just accept that that person doesn't believe the same thing that you do. And
fine.
Just
agree
to disagree.
The problem would then be how the kids are going to be brought up. Okay. That could be a massive problem within a marriage. If one person has a spiritual awakening that lets them know, this is all bullshit. Okay. And I can't have my kids raised like this. Now, there's a good way to go about it, and there's a shitty way to go about it. I'm sure he chose the shitty way to go about it. Okay. But that could raise some serious problems. So,
yes. Absolutely. And it did. And you're spot on. And the fallout of that nuclear explosion within that marriage will become so evident in part 2 of this. Because we did
the parents' marriage.
The parents' marriage.
Right.
And then Josh and Susan's marriage.
Okay.
Because it mirrors.
The dad was Jeffrey?
The dad was Stephen.
Sorry. Hold on. Oh, right. Sorry. Okay. So Stephen was her stepdad, her father-in-law, I should say.
It was her father-in-law. Yeah, Stephen was her father-in-law.
Stephen was the father-in-law who also, the full creepo, the total creeper. Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's what we should be talking about.
We'll
Can
get
you
to that.
imagine?
He was also the one who first said, "Whoa, Mormonism doesn't really jive, and I'm going to make fun of people." He was that guy first. Then his
Right,
daughter-in-law
but
moved in.
see the hypocrisy between the son, Josh,
Yeah.
about how he treated his mom like crap, did all that stuff, was totally in the patriarchy with the dad, and like, yeah, I'm gonna treat my mom like shit and just be just terrible, and like women suck and all
Yeah,
of
where do you
that.
think they
Right?
learned that? Where do you think they learned that?
I know where they learned
The
that.
church.
Okay, let's not go there.
But it is where they learned that.
Let's stay. Okay, but let's not go
All right.
there. Okay,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I'm not
Oh,
apologizing to
I know.
anybody.
I hear you.
I'm just saying.
I hear
Then
you.
Josh, who rejected the religion, rejected his mom, then he starts going to LDS
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
presents himself as something and is all in. I mean, he's going to classes.
Yeah, he's hosting stuff at his house.
Hosting parties, mixers.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the hypocrisy here that I want to dial into.
Yeah.
Okay, because we know what you're saying about the church and stuff. Yes, but Josh basically did what the dad did, reeling in the wife, thinking that he's going to be something. And I get it. We all grow and change, and what makes a successful marriage is when you can do that together,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
But I just feel like the repeating of the pattern where it's like Susan thought she was marrying something and she got a totally different package as to what she thought, she was getting. And he put that out there.
Yeah. Hypocrisy is another thing that you learn in the church, to be honest.
Oh my gosh, you're going to keep going back to that.
But it's
what
true.
The hell?
It's true.
This is like me chumming. I don't know why I do this. It's like me chumming the water, okay?
But I'm just saying it's true. We can't have this big all like Babe in the Woods. Like, I don't know where they learned, that women are second-class citizens. I don't
First
know
of all, I'm not a babe in the woods,
I don't
okay?
know where they learned that hypocrisy is okay. It's the same place.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying they both could have met spouses that agreed with them at atheism classes, but both chose to, troll around the waters of Mormonism.
That's the available, dating pool in Utah.
Oh my God. This wasn't in Utah. This was in Washington.
You throw a dart out the window and hit a Mormon when you're in Utah. You know what I mean?
Stop. We're not doing this. This is 2024, baby. Okay?
Yeah, I know. It's 2024. We should be beyond all of this.
But we're not, because human beings are we still have our reptilian brains and we're still going to do what we do.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I'm not naive, so naive as to think that it's going to go away. It's people's favorite toy, okay? And they're not going to give it up, okay?
You're not. I'm glad to see you.
Of course. I get it. I happen to think that it's an anchor on humanity. It's keeping us from moving forward.
But then we would do something else. That's the thing.
Maybe we'd have massive technological breakthroughs. Maybe we would do that. Maybe right? Maybe we could, treat everybody equally.
Look at human history.
Sure.
What do you think is going to happen?
Listen,
based on our track record,
I could be hopeful.
I agree. I am too.
So, all right. So hold on. Let's talk about Creepo Steven. Okay.
I know you're totally like burying the lead here.
Because it's fun for me. All right. So Steven the Creeper, his daughter-in-law moves into the house and he's like, she wants some of this.
If that song was creepy, wait until you actually see it. You got to go and look at some of these videos.
She wants some of this. And he's like doing upskirt cams and stuff on her and like hidden cameras while she pees. I mean, this guy is, criminally. It's awful. It's really, really awful. And then on this drive, he's like, oh, okay. Got to be honest. You're all I fucking think about all the time. And I'm picking up the vibe you're laying down, girl. No, dude, you're fucking really not.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation, obviously not like that, but where it's uncomfortable to the extreme and you have to get yourself out of it, right? I mean, imagine what that must have been like for her. You know? I
Oh
mean, just
gosh.
imagine.
Oh my gosh. It's and the kid didn't give a shit. The son wasn't like, "Yo, dad, back off of my girl."
I mean, clearly he didn't. They stayed living there. He had these, I mean, and that was the thing too. It's like, talk about nonverbal communication of like, yeah, I'm going to sit here and talk to this or not pedophile, but this dad
Yeah.
who's such a creep. And then both gaslighting her and acting like, you know what? It's just you. You know, he was just being, you know, he loves to take photography. He loves to document our family. That's what he loves to do. You know, like that's how that stuff works.
Man, like if they took that a half a step further, it's your fault for being an attractive woman. Then that's full religion right there. They've got the bingo card.
Oh, I am sure
Right?
that they did.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they did because she was in cosmetology and she, you know, she was a stylist and she got ready. And that's one of the videos that he would do is like as she's getting ready. And so it's like, you know, and the sad part is that none of these videos came out until much later. Right? So she, you know, we all know now, yeah, what he did, but that evidence wasn't there for her at that time and he had it squirreled away. And so, you know, she's just basically saying, help me, you know, to her husband. You know, she told her family and you know, it's kind of like one of those things where, I mean, it's not necessarily permissive, but you hear about it. A woman can say, yeah, this guy just, you know, this family member just keeps bothering me or this or that. And you're just like, yeah, just try to stay away from him. Or, I mean, she was not doing anything to try to get his attention.
Of course
and
not.
it's
Of course not.
No, I know, but the fantasies that he had built up in his, like in these videos, it showed he would get these pillows and then put her clothing on the pillow, like dress it up. The look on your face. And then just video himself talking about that. Videoing himself like trying to game on his son's wife while he's there. Like that was part of the thrill of it.
And that's not even the story that we're talking about. This is like
No,
this is like a subplot, you know?
I know. That's why I did 2 parts on this, because you really need to know the background once we get to part 2. And you know, it's just crazy.
So they
You know?
finally leave. Susan
They
and
finally
Jonathan,
leave.
they move away. They have a
Mhm.
bankruptcy. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're getting back on their feet financially.
Well, I mean, it was all him.
Yeah.
You know, she was very, very like, she came from a family that was very into, you know, not spending above your means.
Yeah.
And, you know, she had this life that she wanted and was willing to work really hard to get. It's not like she just thought she was marrying a sugar daddy and then, you know, I'm just going to stay at home and not do anything or do whatever I want or whatever. I'm not saying that's what she wanted at all. She was willing to work together. And they wanted this plan together. And he would just buy, I mean, the video that shows like all these tools and all these like remote control cars and like souped up computers and like, and then she's pinching pennies and feeding the family out of a garden. I mean, it's just insane.
And he makes her sell a car, and then they have to share the minivan that he drives anyway. He opens up a new line of credit in her name at Home Depot for his bullshit. And yeah, just taking advantage, just not respecting her as a human really at all.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So then he decides to take his young kids camping in the middle of the night in a snowstorm, which is totally normal.
Totally. I know, completely. Yeah.
Who
Totally makes sense. And of course,
who did he think was going to buy that? Who did he think was going to fucking buy that story? I'm trying out a new generator. Oh, really? Okay, great. So you take your fucking 5-year-old on a school night camping at midnight?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, it feels like it was obviously, and we'll go a little bit deeper here, because we'll get to it in part 2, but like she had like $1.5 million in life insurance that was in her name, and that's what she was concerned about. So obviously he'd been thinking about this.
Yeah.
You know, the divorce threats that she was, making and wanted to go through. I mean, I absolutely believe that she would have gotten divorced, but was afraid, of what could possibly happen. So yeah, why, if you were planning it, is this really the best plan?
Right. Wow. Right. So you're setting this up as like a crime of passion kind of thing now.
I don't know what it was. I mean, to be honest, I feel like it wasn't a crime of passion, that he'd been thinking about doing it. And I think that
he's just he's just a shitty, he has no imagination.
I mean, I think that, I've done so many of these cases where it's like people, I think they get so caught up in the moment of like, I want this, because you want it. He wanted the life insurance. He thought this was, he wanted his boys. He didn't want to have to deal with getting a divorce. He wanted to get back at her. He wanted all those things. So that's all he's thinking about. And he's like, okay, now it's go time. Right.
Yeah.
And so, maybe it's a product of that. I don't know, but I certainly think that this was premeditated. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, I'm interested to see where it goes. I mean, the access that you have here with these, the interviews and stuff is really, really interesting.
There's I can't take credit. I mean, there's so much, this case has been so widely reported that, it's just out, it's everywhere, and especially, you haven't heard this case before?
I haven't, but I live in a bubble of just, my own shit that I have to deal with. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. I do. I'm not like a big consumer of true crime. I wish I had time to listen to more stuff, but I honestly don't. And I think that's a good thing. I honestly, as much as I'd like to listen to more, I don't want to be influenced by other people's kind of interpretation of stuff or what they think a good show is. You know what I mean? I just want.
I totally, absolutely.
Yeah, but I know there's a lot of good stuff out there. But but so his crocodile tears didn't move me at all, really, in the interview.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
his interview was 3 hours of him. Yeah. Not answering a single question, like completely. Even when he answered it, saying yes, then he'd walk it back and be like, "Well, I don't really remember." And the tears, if there were any, were for himself.
Yeah, of course.
Like when he first walked in there,
I'm nervous. I'm scared. I don't know what's going on.
Well, and what you didn't see is him sitting here going like this with his hands, because the detective kind of in passing was like, "Let me see your hands," and there's some nicks, and he just left him in the room for a second to go get his notebook, and the whole time he just kept going like this.
Yeah, saying like, "Yeah, can't believe she cut me." That's what he was thinking, right?
I think he was thinking, does this look like one? Does this look like she cut me? Does this look,
Sure.
I mean,
well,
I think that
despite the cliffhanger, I think it's she's dead. I'm assuming we can put that out there, okay? Because with the kind of ominous tease with the forensic interview of the minor, those are always kind of sketchy. We've had a few of those in these episodes, and those are always sad, and weird. And I do not envy that interviewer. That is got to be a shitty job. Really shitty job. Trying to get the truth out of a 5-year-old. It's really sad, but it's I'm interested to see. I hope that this idiot is strung up by one of his own kids being smarter than he suspected him to be, because the kids, what, Charlie and Branden, they were 5 and what?
5 and 3.
5 and 3. Yeah.
Yeah. This is going to be hard for you, but I'm not going to give you anything away. That's why I was asking if you've heard about it before, because
no, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. This is going to be
all right.
hard.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. It's nice, nice to get back in the saddle here. It's good to see you. This was a great episode, and like I was saying before we went live, is the two-parters always piss me off because I never see them coming until there's like 2 minutes left. I'm like, there's no way it's going to get wrapped up in 2 minutes. Damn it! This is a two-parter. It pisses me off. But I'm looking forward to next week. So well done. Thank you very much. And I wanted to say thank you everybody for getting back in the saddle with us, Criminal Mischief Nation. Thank you. Please, if you enjoy the show, head on over to Apple Podcasts and rate and review us. Maybe share us with your friends. And pretty please consider supporting the great companies that support our show, because without them, we couldn't do what we do. So
pretty please with sugar on top.
Pretty please with sugar on top. Carolyn, anything you'd like to add?
Nope, happy to be back. Thank you so much for sticking around with us, and we will see you next week.
Thank you very much. Stay safe out there.
From Cloud 10, Criminal Mischief is a pie-in-the-sky production recorded in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. We're produced by Brandon Morgan and myself. Music by Soundstripe. I'm Carolyn Osorio, your writer and host.